Rockstar Games, although they're best known for Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 at this point, I remember a time when they created one of the most offensive games of all time. One of the most banned to my knowledge. Even in Australia still, you can only play it on a physical copy. I happen to be lucky enough to possess a physical copy of the most violent, offensive, and disgusting game of all time. At least that's how people put it. I find it to be an incredibly good stealth game with a lot of horror elements to it. A lot of realistic parts of this game make your stomach churn. Now, I'm not someone who's going to shy away from violence and blood and gore and all that. I love survival horror and I love gratuitous violence in film and television, all of that. Of course, I find this game to be enjoyable, but it has a lot of depth and detail that a lot of people just don't acknowledge for some reason. The same with Grand Theft Auto 4. People seem to love rebuying Grand Theft Auto 5, they just can't keep their hands off of it. In Manhunt, you're James Earl Cash, who has just been sentenced to death and supposedly executed. That's how it starts, with your execution.
One piece of evidence that will expose Starkweather without a shadow of a doubt. Footage and testimony of a man who was executed by the state 5 hours ago. James Earl Cash, found guilty and sentenced to death, has been on death row for the past 3 years and was executed last night.
Hey, tough guy, wake up. You're not dead. Well, not yet, anyway. You're getting a second chance. Another throw of the dice. As far as the world is concerned, you died back in the chamber. Justice was served. James Earl Cash is rotting in hell. Hey, get a grip and calm down. You're probably suffering from shock, and I'm here to help. Pick up the earrings. Put it on. Go on. That's better. Now only you can hear me. And that's the way you're gonna want it, because I'm your only way out of here. Hey, easy. Look, you've had an unexpected reprieve. Do exactly as I say, and I promise this will be over before the night is out.
But you wake up in the dark execution room and a voice on the intercom leads you to your first destination, which is a kill. This game is a series of kills, and violent ones at that. Executions with hammers and knives and crazy shit. It is unbelievable that this game got released, but to me, it's pixels on a screen. It's not like something is actually happening. Looking at Manhunt, it's a game I can't wait to talk more about, and I am super invested in this game because it is a time when details mattered more, when offending people wasn't such a worry. This game offends everybody. This is not one of those games that everybody should play. This is for you hardcore gore hounds who like a horror experience, survival horror at that. This game is less about the gunfights and more about sneaking through the shadows, getting closer to your target so you can get that kill, that glorious videotaped kill that this creator is leading you through. The narrator is a sick man.
You're stacking those corpses up like it was Judgment Day.
But the sicker people are the ones scattered throughout this linear tale, and that's what I'd like to present most to you. It was a linear game with each level being its own little sandbox. It wasn't so small that you didn't have options, and it wasn't so large that you could just get lost out there. It was great, a great balance right there on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. My god, imagine if this game made it onto a Nintendo console. The day would never come because, frankly, I just don't see anything happening on Nintendo that isn't, green blood or blue blood. This game is literally as violent as they come, and it's not like hatred without a point, violence without a point. This game is you trying to survive and see why you're being set up the way you are, and see what the hell is going on in this demented city. Carcer City is the setting, and each level has its own aesthetic detail to it. It's a game I know is not coming back for Rockstar. I didn't even play the second one too much because it was so heavily censored. And if I gotta download it on PC, I'm really not interested, just to see a little bit more of the gore. I already watched a compilation of all the kills, and that kind of ruins it. That's part of what you're doing in the game. You're seeing what can be done, what kind of sick madness comes next. Jesus, it's a video game. Literally pixels on a screen. That's why I think Manhunt should make a return, but it never will now, because the graphics are too damn good. I think on PlayStation 2, everything looked bad enough that it didn't look too realistic, but now we're getting to the point where it'd just be a fucking execution video. And I don't think Rockstar really wants to represent themselves that way anymore. The way they've toned down Grand Theft Auto 5 and whatever's to come next, I mean, geez. It is a sign of the times, but me, I'm glad I lived through this experience of my life because Manhunt was a part of that experience. Until next time, folks, ta-ta.